Hello, everyone. Titan Esports. My name is Nuxel, and I'm joined here by Jay Beto. We have a bit of a catch-up day here on Saturday for you guys. Sunday here over in Australia for both me and Jay Beto over here.
Yes,
Immortal League
sir.
Group B is what we are getting caught up on. The graphic is a little bit skewed, so just ignore that for a bit. We're having a little bit of difficulties, but we will be watching TTM To the Moon Atlas and Legacy
Mhm.
Amber today or tonight for you guys, which is really exciting.
Well, we're upside down, so you know, Taj goes. Yeah, this is obviously some really high level league, the highest in Titan. So keen to see how these teams battle it out. We were talking before we started streaming about some of the patch notes that have come through. I've been talking about it a few times in recent casts that there have been quite a few leading up to Worlds. 25, 17, 18, 19, 20. Because these leagues, our leagues have taken a break, so these are all kind of hitting at once for one like kind of really big patch, and obviously 25-20 happening earlier this week. So people have had a bit of a time, bit of a chance to play on it. We'll have to see what they're coming out with their meta reads for this first game.
Yeah, absolutely. Like it could be it's a bit of everything, right? Like obviously these teams have been scrimming a bunch in the lead up and with the new patch it could be a fallback to default or it could be a bit of a read with
Mm.
some of those new changes, like the LeBlanc and whatnot for some different combos there. I recognize that in some of the more professional leagues, like I saw a game that was Instalock LeBlanc Lee Sin. So we might have some really
Yeah, that was
exciting
ASI.
stuff. Yeah, we might have some really exciting stuff ahead of us. I think it definitely makes for some very flashy stuff potentially. But I think we'll be jumping into our draft here very shortly, and then we'll get some of those answers to our questions.
Yeah, those are some really, really serious matches, those ASI ones,
Yeah.
fully locked in. Yeah, I remember the draft will be correct, but the score, the names of the teams at the top, having a little bug right now, so that won't be correct. But we're getting in. Rise ban. Makes sense, as Bok Choi been playing a lot of Rise.
Yeah, I think I was just about to say, I think we're going to be expecting a Kane ban coming out, considering just the absolute, I'm not going to say one trick, but the amount of mastery
I
points
will.
that.
OTP 2.5 million mastery Kane. He's playing it.
Yeah, Hyper Dragon loves his Kane, that is for absolute sure. And then yeah, Vlad and then Ash picked up as the next two bans. So bit of a spread across here, just taking out the main stuff that they don't want to verse. Obviously, Aatrox next.
Yeah, it's been a long year. Teams have had quite a lot of time to adapt to Fearless. So I think it's really interesting to see how a team or players have adapted over the course of the year, or I guess like the league season. As finish up our bands here, a lot of 80 carries on red side, but it's a Rumble first pick on blue with the Aatrox band to set that up. Still pretty strong. Fell off a little bit out of prior with the nerfs a couple of patches ago, but still happy to go towards it for TTM.
I do like to see that though. Like this is my first time on Immortal League, and I've seen a few of the sort of mid leagues here at Titan Esports, and unfortunately I don't see Rumble get played too much. And I know that you talk about that off camera a lot, Jay Beto, that it's something that you would like to see more. So it's nice to see picked up. Wukong, definitely something we've been used to over the past couple patches.
Yeah.
Is something that is prioritized. And then Lilia, I think that's Hyper Dragon's second most masteries. So
A lot of carry junglers he's playing.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Cassante into the Rumble, I mean, it doesn't feel like the best answer, but it's a tank, right? So that is your answer. I'm not saying that there's a better answer. That's kind of what you have to play into Rumble. The Wukong can also be like a takeaway from the Rumble. Wukong Rumble, really, really strong duo.
Yeah,
There's
I
the
was just saying
LeBlanc
that.
pickup that we were talking about. A lot of extra AP scaling on her W and R. And the Tristana picked up too can be a flex. I'd imagine it's going to go mid though, because if you want a mage in that trio there, Rumble, Lilia, and a mage, that's a lot of heavy AP topside. Really helps the Cassante. So having that Tristana in the mid lane would really help out.
It's interesting the Jarvan ban over here from TTM. I wonder whether they're expecting that to go or if it was a bit of a misplay. like Jarvan support possibly. Unless I'm reading this wrong, but interesting nevertheless. And then a Jinzhao. So are they expecting the Wukong to be somewhere else other than jungle? This is not something that I would expect, but I was just thinking that before, and you mentioned that the Wukong could definitely be a takeaway, so that they didn't get it with a Rumble. I think that's, yeah, I think that's exactly what that was. Lucian picked up here into potential Nami or Braum. I think if they pick up the Braum, that comp is quite terrifying for Legacy Amber.
Really nice Zara Khan slam here, I would imagine. And yeah, could be a Lucian, could be, sorry, is a Lucian, could be a Nami, could be a Braum. I was watching a match the other day where Milio was played a little bit. I know that that's also something that gets played with Lucian, but has fallen out of favor a little bit. I think Braum would kind of be a bit harmful against the Rakan because Rakan's really good into Braum. You just run past him. So it is going to be the Milio locked in. I guess the kick makes a lot of sense against the Rakan, right? The kickback, the fireball. But yeah, I think that these drafts are both really all-encompassing. You've got pretty good Merc Trades value from this Cassante, so obviously that bodes well for Legacy Amber. But you've also got great team fighting on both teams. Wukong, Lucian, really great skirmishes. The Tristana, the Zyra Khan, Rumble, all really great team fighting. And, of recent, that has been what teams have gone towards in all regions, in pro play mostly as well. Stacking dragons, rotating up for grubs. Very important for these teams.
I think we need to be very conscious as well, like Milio, like as well as that just being a good pick with the kick and everything like that. The Lilia is going to be definitely harmed with the Milio ult, shutting down a lot of potential with the combo there, and Rumble for that kind of like insta-kill target that TTM are, I think, planning to do. It's hard, right? There's a lot of stuff that could go off with the Rumble Rakan even, get some big CCs, but like I'm definitely scared of Legacy Amber's early game. I think that there's enough CC to be worried across the map potentially with some early roams, but that's not to say that, like, especially playing a Tristana, that they can't swing back,
Well, we're getting into our first game here. Pretty standard starts, just everyone mirroring across the map right now. Bit of pings coming out and a ward. This looks like a very early invade actually under full clear.
Full clear having to flash under his tower. They'll take that happily. TTM walking back into their jungle, clearing out. Got some good early vision there onto the Raptors as well. So it's quite painful if you're full clear right now.
Yeah, that feels pretty awkward. Forced to use the pot as well, and we'll have full vision. So TTM will have full vision of what full clear is doing on his full clear. And there is a red side ward on the Raptors pit as well. So I guess both teams will know what's going on pretty quickly. Obviously, Lilia spotted now. Wukong will be spotted when he goes towards his Raptors. So a little bit later, the lanes will start pretty even. And Nixel, talking about patch notes and patches changing, the new lane swap changes pretty impactful in elos like this and above, as 4 minutes now on the timer for lane swaps means it's pretty hard. I'm already passive procced in mid. Really nice landing from Karma Warrior. It takes you 4 minutes before you're allowed to go up into the top lane if you want to go towards a lane swap. So these normal default lanes being set makes sense. I'd say that, most of the lanes are pretty even. Right? Only really hard winning one, I guess, is this mid right now.
Jump onto Bok Choy here. Low health. 2 flashes coming out.
No.
Karma Warrior's actually going to die. First blood over to Bok Choy. Really wanting that, but the flash was just well timed from both sides there. And a kill over to Legacy Amber.
Yeah, that's a situation where on VOD you're like, yeah, maybe if I was a little bit faster, or maybe if I had stepped up, pretended to flash, then Bok Choy would fake, they would fake the flash, and then you would be up a flash. But in the moment, you really want the kill. It would be really, really good for the game state. Unfortunately, you die first blood. CS is pretty even. Both TP back to lane with multi-pot, so it is what it is. LeBlanc able to afford that Dark Seal now. Bokchoy feeling a bit happy about that, but also a bit nervous, very close to going the other way.
And there's still going to be that constant brawl out in mid. Both of those mid laners are wanting to get the upper hand on the other. But now with that Dark Seal, Bok Choy's going to have a bit of the upper hand here. So Kamawara feeling it now a lot heavier than he was before.
Still going in favor. I mean, the clear from Kamawara pretty good on a Tristana. Basing again to get some kind of advantage. So most likely like a longsword or maybe a little bit more gold here. We'll have to see what he picks up. There's a longsword there, nice. So evening up the disparity in damage just a little bit. Pretty slow early game after that first blood. So I mean, it makes sense, right? Like saying this is pretty high up elo. I think that the game Nixel though is in a really fun state. I'm super excited when it's coming into Worlds. It's a really skirmishy focused dragon grubs team fight to the death kind of game state that the league in general is in right now. With these bruiser junglers, Wukong, with the engaged supports, Rakan, the team fighting, top laners, Rumble with the Xayah, with Lucian. I think that it's in a really fun state. So even though, sometimes games can be slow to start, they end up being really explosive, and I find it really fun to watch. I find it really fun to cast too, to be honest.
I think it's very rewarding as well for a lot of these teams in all ELOs that are playing in the Titan League around this time of year, because especially with the new patches and everything like that, you're doing your meta reads the way that your team is or you are individually, and if you see that reflected in the biggest League of Legends tournament of the year, it just feels great, right? And it makes you. It gives you a lot of motivation, I feel like, as a player to want to push yourself even harder.
Yeah, I agree. First Drake spawning in about 10 seconds here, so we'll be able to see if these teams are going to fight over that. Lane Prior still in favor of bot and mid, though, so if you wanted to rotate down to that, you would be able to, but Hyper Dragon just opting for the top side clear. Both teams playing pretty well. That was a ping exactly on where Hyper Dragon was from Amber. You see he's pinging the camps there into the top side. Very nice. Ooh, all out. Forced to flash away as well. A one cake. Didn't hit that level 6.
No, not quite yet. The TP is up around this Drake as well if either of the top laners so choose to. One cake
Careful.
is trying to deny the back, and he will do that, so Bai will just duck under his tower, or maybe stick around just for this last wave. Get a bit greedy here. It doesn't look like the Drake is what they're looking at quite yet. But the Wukong is positioned around it.
Yeah, Wukong starting that up. Prio 1 a little bit in mid, but Hyper Dragon looking for an invade a little bit more. This is a bit of a risky dragon take as well from Full Clear because you've got no bot lane around. They just based. So if the bot lane from TTM was to walk in right now and start fighting Wukong on the dragon, it would bode very, very well for TTM, which is what they are going to do right now, walk up and check, but the dragon might be gone before they get there.
Leviathan will be the first to spot the Drake popping up over in the bushes, chasing Full Clear into his own jungle, but now the space has been occupied by TTM here. Ward does see the Lilia. Milio is here, doesn't realize that there's a Rakan, so he will get knocked up by that W. Has to flash over the wall, and Xayah wastes her flash as well. Doesn't realize which direction that it went, but the Drake does get denied, but 2 flashes are used. I'd take that as a win if you're Legacy Amber.
I agree, using the Xayah flash, very important on this champion. Not quite level 6 yet, so that safety hasn't really been afforded with the Featherstorm just of yet. But yep, very nice deny on the Drake. You can see how slow TTM want to play this, waiting for these grubs to spawn in another minute. And see if any lane swap is going to come through now. Obviously, lane swap detection has worn off. You can see Leviathan pathing mid on the Rakan to hold the wave out, as the wave state wasn't great. Harry needs to be a little bit careful here.
Flash on the Lucian, and Emilio here to support as well. Will be a very swift and easy kill with Xayah no flash. So that's 2 kills on the board for Legacy Amber here. They're making it look easy.
They are making it look easy. It was a really greedy stay from Harry. I understand that the wave state wasn't great for him, but your support based went mid. You just have to sack the wave freeze there. Instead, walks up really aggressively. No flash. We were talking about just before. Valiant Chill flashes forward, gets the culling on top. Really nice solo kill there. Leviathan hovering around mid.
We see Bok Choy taking a bit of tip damage there, but Wards are around to try and get vision onto that Lilia over the wall there, so they might know that she's on grubs. And Full Clear realizes that, goes to the Drake, and it looks like they'll take that trade pretty happily. Violent Chill just helping out, take the damage of the Drake down just that little bit faster. Wukong early game can not be the quickest to kill objectives, so they might even have a bit of time to run down to Drake if TTM really decide to.
Could do. Lilia is pretty low on mana. Smite was used. I think that they're happy to take this trade because it looks like this is what they were setting up the entire time, right? Really early lane swap into mid with the Rakan. Not lane swap, sorry. Really early roam into mid, I should say, sorry, with the Rakan. And in a roam situation, Rakan is infinitely better than Milia, right? Great vision contest, great vision setup. Can face check bushes. Very, very hard to catch and kill in any part of the game, but especially right now when you don't have like 100 to 0 one-shot burst. Valdanio behind, finds the kick.
Good kick, and Violent Chill is here to follow up. Harry Augie does have his ult, though, and he will be using it straight away. Won't be able to get the root down, but they're playing around these feathers. They don't want to get stuck there. Health trade out in favor of Legacy Amber. Violent Chill still on half health, though. I'll just take the wave and chill out for a little bit. Violently, though, as Harry walks back in. Grand Entrance does come up to knock up Violent Chill, but they're playing with fire. They're playing with their food. Will they be able to eat it up?
Nom nom, you know?
Nom nom indeed.
Whoa! It's a solo kill in mid.
Oh, didn't even see it happen, but that's it. You need to respect the LeBlanc, especially later into the game. Like, as a Tristana, you have a lot that you can do, but LeBlanc can trade that back. Electrocute procs. Now she's got a full Luden, so even more so you have to be careful.
I don't know if you're getting this base off, my friend. This looks like a really easy dive. The wave isn't on the tower just yet, but here comes LeBlanc.
And Leviathan is the first to fall. Harry Augie does get knocked up. He's under tower. Rooted out is Violent Chill and taken down as well. Harry Augie's able to get a kill. Two slept from Hyper Dragon, and LeBlanc falls as well. TTM coming up big here in this fight. Valdanio will not walk out with his life. It looked to be the favor of Legacy Amber, but TTM played that so well and come out with 3 kills for themselves.
Yeah, it was a great dive to start off with. Bok Choy basically just insta-kills Leviathan, all out in top.
Bye. You gotta be careful, because this cake can cook you, but it does not matter as the Cassante smacks down that Yordle and is able to get a bit more in favor of his team as they lost the bot fight.
Very nice mechanics on the Cassante as insert Cassante copy pasta via Showmaker here. But yeah, it was a really nice dive under the tower, but Violent Chill gets rooted by the Blade Caller under tower, tanks a whole lot of tower shots, and then Bok Choy takes one that was really ramped up. So takes a ton of damage, then gets slept by the Lullaby and taken down by Hyper Dragon. Really nice response, but I love the proactivity from LA right now.
2 minutes 15 onto this next Drake here, and it will be a Mountain Drake, so we won't see either that or Hextech as the soul here. But bit of time to play around, get farmed up. I can see that there's a bit of a fight in mid happening as well as this bot fight here, as Leviathan and Harry have to stay back, take the wave. And they're chilling out. No one's dying yet. They don't want to make that mistake as they've already got that come up.
Very nice culling in the bot lane just to continue up this pressure to what Lucian does so well. I'd love to get the Lucian into mid lane eventually because you are just forcing mid prior constantly with Lucian in this matchup. There's not a whole lot Zaya can do, but does have a full Yuntal, so need to be careful. Eventually that will become a bit of a problem for Violent Chill to deal with before he can base and get his own, but full clear down the bot side looking for a dive. Just dead.
Harry will die first. Leviathan using quickness just to try and get a bit of CC. He wasn't able to save his friend's life, and it looks like Leviathan will also fall. That's a double kill for full clear here. And they took back their loss from before, and they're looking for this tower.
It's a really nice dive from full clear. Super easy, well played. Really nice juggling of the aggro. No one really dips below half HP. Violent Chill was getting there, but looked fine. Careful, One Cake. You're going to get ulted here in a second if you're not careful.
Bai knows
But
his
we
limits,
tried
but he
there.
W'd the wrong way, and that's Rumble Ult coming out. Equalizer taking half health of Bai. Cassante in a bit of an awkward spot here as the rest of TTM slowly start to close around. There is a Tristana coming up, and there is a Rakan as well.
He's so
Bai able
tanky.
to get away. Yeah, so tanky as well with that magic defense that he was able to get with the Rookin.
Mm.
Karma trying to
He's cooking him.
up, but that's not happening. Has to back. I think that's a great buy into Rumble. He had Rumble.
Oh,
there,
yeah.
like at a great wave state for himself, denying a lot of like. This is the point in the game where Rumble starts to fall behind if you're playing the game like Bai is. Unfortunately, I think he got a bit too aggressive as the wave started to reset, and it would have bounced back. But yeah, tricky stuff.
Yeah, if that Leandries that had just been picked up by One Cake had been finished when that was going on, it would have looked a lot different because he was cooking him for a long time. Those Flame Spitter, the Flame Spitter was on him for a long time, but instead, no Leandries finished at the time. Violent Chill looking for another culling.
The root doesn't come out from Harry. And Violent Chill is still going in.
Oh.
Just block it up. Quickness and Grand Entrance. Does a lot to Violent Chill. He does have
top lane though. Top lane.
Left. Top lane with Bai looking to 2v1. Make it a 2v3 in a second. But Full Clear is coming around. Falling asleep is this Cassante. Karma Warrior does get taken down after Bai falls first. And it looks like a bit of a trade here from both sides of the team. But Bok Choy is around, coming out with his W. Slowly, take that. No, not slowly. Quickly takes down Lilia. But another trade onto Full Clear as well.
No, the wrong one.
Equalizer.
Oh!
W back from Bok Choy playing mind
no.
games. And Flash as well
Oh
from
my
Leviathan.
God.
Bok Choy is playing mind games. Oh my God, the W back as well.
He's still going.
He's in such an awkward spot. He's dancing around, but this is just what LeBlanc does, right? She really wants to get this base up.
He's dead.
Karma Warrior's coming around, just needs to pop a
Execute.
couple autos. It is
Oh,
execute. Perfect for Bok Choy. It was an even trade in the end there, but oh, that was crazy. I don't know if that was worth it for Legacy Amber, if I'm going to be honest.
Well, they've got quite a big gold lead and a bunch of tempo in mid to continue the force out in this bot lane matchup. Now moved into mid. There are serious problems to talk about for TTM. This Lucian Prior is seriously costing TTM a lot of map pressure right now. Herald has spawned. Scuttle Crab will be taken by TTM, but looking for the fight. Here comes a TP.
Full Clear on his own here as Leviathan W's him and knocking him up. But this 5 people from Legacy Amber are around, looking around this mid tower and around the Rift Herald as well. Translating that into a TP and bot. They're looking for the bot tower as well as a bit of a trade. Good macro and a good dash out from Violent Chill to make sure he doesn't get knocked up. I don't think they're going to get mid tower yet. They'll get the Rift Herald as TTM get that bot tower as that trade happens. And Cassante looks to push a bit further as well. Harry Augie does take a bit of life. Violent Chill on his own. Good flash out to make sure that he won't get charmed from Leviathan there. Toying on the cusp of death. Even though he has full health, there's 3 people around. He can get burst out so quickly, but dancing around is Violent Chill. Bit of an awkward position here. Harry Augie is around to start that damage. Equalizer out, and Violent Chill will be the one to fall. 2 ults get used, and Valdanio will slowly start to fall asleep, but will use his ult so he doesn't. Grand Entrance behind him up. There's enough people to walk around. Harry does die to Bok Choy though. Valdanio still has his life. Full Clear is around here. Ult available for him as well, and it will get used for the first one. Hyper Dragon starting to tick down his life. Full Clear does use his second, so there's no more knock-up coming from him. But Bai's around, and Bai has his ult, so could take Leviathan out for a trip, but it doesn't matter, because Leviathan does fall there from Full Clear. That is the kills of the fight as they start to reset. Get that tempo back in their favor. What a fight.
Yeah, that was a long fight too. There was the bot tower, really nice TP from a One Cake to force that down with Karma Warrior. Then Herald gets taken on the top side of the map, so Karma Warrior needs to base and go down to up to the top lane so that the tier 2 doesn't get taken. There's a bit of a skirmishing over in the mid side, and Violent Chill gets flash forced from the quickness, and then later on gets caught out by Hyper Dragon. And then they over chase, and Bok Choy is rotated down, up from bot lane to this mid lane fight. And Full Clear is also wrapped around behind. So it's a massive sandwich play. Still leading is LA, but it's a close game. 6-2. Only, what is it? 2.5K gold lead right now for Legacy. So by no means unreachable for TTM. But next Drake going to spawn in 3 minutes, and it is Infernal Soul this game, which is very terrifying for a LeBlanc. Like, you've already got, the Hextech Drake individual one, so you've got ability haste there. You've got a bit of tankiness from the Mountain Drake, which feels nice, and then 2 extra, percent AP ADs, and then the explosive passive if you get the soul. LeBlanc will just be actually exploding everyone as they look in here. Misses the engage. Root out.
Good W, and a good root as well onto Bok Choy. Dragon is coming up right about now, and Legacy Amber will want to start taking these fights around that Drake now. Should mention that this is their first game of the tournament, of the league. TTM. So first showing. Haven't had one on the stage yet, but
wow, this is a really big win.
They have a bit of experience with that.
They get the Drake.
Not experience, but yeah, free Drake over.
And a TP top for free as well.
Yeah, nothing Legacy Amber did to contest that at all, but there is still potential for a decent fight here. Violent Chill does get charmed, and Grand Entrance knocks him up. Good Milio ult will mean that he can get away from there, and Xayah does die from Bok Choy. Equalizer comes out, bit of chip damage over onto Legacy Amber here. Full clear, flashing away. No more deaths quite yet, and this tower is looking low.
Yeah, Leviathan's getting all the flashes out with these grand entrances. Mid tower will break, but on the top lane as well, it's just another tower getting taken by Bai. It probably won't go down right now, no demolish, but damage to the map getting significantly done. And Nixel, oh my goodness, Atacon, like, I think TTM are just falling apart right now. I said it was about a 2.5K lead. You're down, 2 Drakes, that's okay. You got the 3 grubs earlier. The game said it's not too bad, and then in the span of about a minute and a half, now the gold lead is 4K, over 4K. It's Soul Point, it's Infernal Soul Point. You lose a bunch of towers, and some more towers get quite low. That top lane tower is nearly dead. You lose Atacon as well. Let's see if we can have a look at the flowers. You've got 3 on Lilia production. Could we have a look at someone on the red side? Just anyone see what flowers they've got? 47 flowers.
Yeah, wow.
So 47 to, what was it, 8, 5? And either way, a massive, massive to 7, thank you. 8 now, they've picked up 1. But that's quite a lot of gold worth of stats there.
And Legacy Amber just seemingly in every side of the map. They're taking Drake, but Cassante is up in top taking the tower, and he will be trying to take this fight as well. Equalizer does come out, and the rest of Legacy Amber are around here. One Cake does fall first to Violent Chill. A knock over from Bide. He's tanky, so even low health, he's got a lot that he can do. Violent Chill flashes out.
Whoa!
Onto Harry here. Karma Warrior does get his E and out on to the Lucian. Does not fall, though. Massive sleep onto 2 people does happen from TTM here, and Hyper Dragon does fall next. Leviathan next to fall. This tower is no more. Bok Choy wanting another kill. The flash comes out from Karma Warrior. And the game is slowly coming to a close as Legacy Amber is to take this tempo all the way to the end. Tower down, and they will actually fall back, not taking this inhib at all.
I guess, there's this mid-tier 2, but, I mean, it's a statement to how conservative that LA are playing in, not obviously the team fights, but if you take an inhib too early before you can threaten an end, before the inhib comes back up, you guarantee so much gold and XP down the top lane because the super minions will constantly shove in. Yes, it gives you prio for soul, but not willing to give, Xayah or Tristana another item, whereas you can just fight with your nearly 3 items. Xayah is nearly at IE, very, very close. I assume that Bok Choy is going towards Rabadon, so that'll be quite a while. But there is a massive, massive gold disparity now, nearly 10,000 gold. This Nuxel might be ungappable.
This is certainly how you close out a game if you're Legacy Amber. Looking to the stars here. They've got that Drake coming up in a minute and a half. They've got 2 tier 2s down, only 1 left in the bot, and a tier 3 as well in top taken for them. So there's a decent pathway open for them if they get a good fight, if they get this Drake and transition that into the end of the game here. And TTM will spot them on that ward over near the Raptors, so they won't be stepping up. They have to play with caution here now. They can't let this slip. 10k.
You've got Cassante on the top lane with TP pushing slowly, so eventually someone will have to answer. That'll be a 1K who also has TP, but Vision getting swept. So these are TP wards behind. They're getting set up for buy. And Vision control so that you know exactly where all the member of TTM are. 40 seconds on this Drake means that that's about the timer before the bells ring for your funeral, as Soul will be taken unless a big miraculous fight gets won by TTM. Nice chunk on the Karma Warrior. And then Nuxel, after the dragon spawns, 30 seconds later, Baron will spawn. You basically walk straight in, get that Baron, reset, spend that gold. That's going to be IE on on this Lucian, like I was talking about before, and then just run it down. At that point, you know, you're nearly 10k gold up. You've got Infernal Soul, Baron, massive ADC items here, really, really strong. Really, really great mid position, 2-5 stacks on this Dark Seal. So even though I've taken a couple of deaths, it really doesn't matter. Some really high AP items too, and the Rabadons hopefully soon. But obviously the inventory is completely full, so you can't see. It's just getting given. We're just giving Soul. I didn't even notice. I was talking about items, looking down. I was expecting to see a fight. They're trying to rush Baron, actually. This is a Hail Mary play if I've ever seen one. It's not even going to happen.
They're walking away. They don't want it. They thought that that might be the hailing grace for them. But it is not quite that case. Falling back and hoping for a miracle. TTM needs something to happen. And Bai is in such a good spot to mark this Lilia as well. Knowing that he can deny any CC with his W. Knowing that he has that Rookern, so there's a portion of his health that just won't even go away because it's a magic shield. So, yeah, I feel like Legacy Amber are in such a good spot here. I mean, they're going straight to this Baron. I think LA realized that, I think TTM realized that that's what they were next going to do and they didn't have the time to do it. It looks like they're potentially trying to just see. And this is the marking that I'm talking about. Bai is walking up here, and Hyper Dragon just can't do anything. Bok Choy is around, starting to get a bit sleepy. Bai needs to save his mid laner. The Equalizer comes out, and the heal out from Milio as well. Bai starting to get low. Unstoppable comes out onto Karma Warrior. The first to fall is Rumble. And going forward even further means that Tristana will be the next to fall. Bok Choy as well. They're in the back lines. They're in the front lines. They're everywhere that you can see them all at the same time. And another to fall will mean that there's only one left, and it is their support. TTM, no one left to fight except this Rakan, and he has no damage that he could work with. The only way that he could potentially save this game is with the damage from his towers, but it looks like he realizes that there's nothing that he can do as the rest
KDA
of LA,
saver.
KDA saver indeed.
Wow.
The rest of LA take the game away. 21-6. And over a 10k gold lead. About 15k there for LA.
Yeah, that's a really unfortunate way to end it, as, you know, Leviathan goes in with the quickness. Everyone has movement on LA, and all of them run out of his path. And then, unfortunately, that was kind of it. You're stuck there. This is not the correct graphic, but that's okay. It's bugged. We know that from before. So Malevolent Requiem did not win, but that is the correct champions. So the champions are correct. The name is not. It was instead Legacy Amber who won that game.
Congratulations, but this is a best of 3. So that does not mean that they're taking away the series. It just means they've won game 1. So TTM, first match of their set, of their series, of their league. Now with a bit of fire under their belt, might take it back into the next game. But we're going to take a bit of a break before jumping into the second one. So we'll see you all very shortly. Welcome back, Titan Esports viewers. Once again, my name is Nuxel, and I'm joined here by Jay Beto as he falls down into the abyss. Just to catch everyone up, we just saw Legacy Amber take the win out on Game 1 here. It's the Immortal League Group B, our catch-up day. So Game 2 of the best of 3, and they're switching sides as well. So Legacy Amber is going to be on blue, and TTM's going to be on the red side.
Well, we've got our fearless bands all locked in right there. There's the Kane band. It will stay here for the full series, all of the 3 games. But
And another Rise as well.
yeah, it's gonna. I assume. Yeah, I've been. This is a pet peeve of mine. I think these are okay. If you've got like a one trick or something that's like mained on the other side that you really want to ban away, totally fine. Do it. Ban it. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that. My issue is when teams have the same bans, which they're doing currently on both sides, which tells me I can't play this at all. Right? Maybe you can. But I also can't play against it either. I've got nothing. I've got no answer to Ashe and Jinx, which there are plenty of answers into. I've got no answer into Rise or Vladimir. And I also can't play them well enough to first pick them either, which is like really shows to me that there's a big gap in draft for you, for a team that does that. Your bans should be changing on red side and blue side. Xin Zhao first pick, really nice, high prior jungler, very, when I say flexible, I don't mean in roles, I mean in how he team fights.
Yeah, and has been very strong for a while now as well, so not surprised seeing that picked up, but yeah, okay, yeah, so they, you mentioned you saying that, but they banned out the Olaf. I think they knew they wanted to take the Trundle here. I feel like, that's interesting, yeah, because the Olaf was not banned before. Corki out.
Yeah.
I've got a lot of aggressive lane presence here so far over from TTM.
The Trundle into the Xin Zhao is a great matchup for Trundle. Xin Zhao can just not get away at all. But now, because Trundle was first picked on blue side, you are able to not go a true tank for Legacy and feel pretty solid about, yeah, that is a true tank though. Sort of, you know. I love Alistar. think it's a great champion. Kai'Sa, Alistar, Xin Zhao is really good, but Trundle does get quite a good amount of value into ulting the Alistar. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Syndra then picked up here for TTM. I feel like if you're Legacy Amber, like, I mean, the mid pick is probably what's coming out next, right? Syndra's such a hard, at least in my opinion. Maybe these guys have a bit of a different viewpoint on this, but if you listen to like what Nemesis talk about, for example, the mid laner of Lost Returns, Syndra's a very hard champion to deal with. She just does a bit of everything, and if you play her well, she can like it's really hard to sort of counter Syndra. So I feel like if you're LA, you're just like, okay, what can I play that's really going to work with my comp? It's not going to be absolutely done by Syndra, rather than just like, okay, what counters Syndra? But at least that, like, I tend to agree with Nemesis. That's just my opinion.
I think you need some range here. Whatever it's going to be, it needs to be something that can match the range of the Syndra. Otherwise, your laning phase is going to be really difficult. There aren't a whole lot, like, you know, you can't really go towards something like a Xerath as the Aatrox picked up into the Shen. So this is a true support counter pick on 5. I like it. Even though Alice has been seen, I do like support counter on 5 for TTM. So it's going to be Orianna, right? Really strong laner, really strong in the meta right now, and has a pretty decent amount of range to match into the Syndra. Works super well with the Xin Zhao too.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to mention that, but I think that is the best pick. A Malphite coming out here. Okay, that's interesting. I'm curious to see where everything ends up going. Like, obviously, Trundle's going to be in the jungle, but I've not seen it. But surely Shen could be played in support as well, right?
Yeah, Lehens plays a good amount of Shen support. It is Shen support, yeah. So it's going to be Malphite top into the Aatrox with Comet. So trying to get some poke going on.
Yeah.
But we're going to jump into our second game, Nixel.
Yeah, I'm excited. What are, like, when we get into sort of this mid game, maybe some team fights and stuff like that, what are your sort of thoughts? Because when I look at LA, I'm going, okay, cool. Like, there's potential for some really interesting combos. Like
True.
Oriana, you want to chuck it onto the Alistar for like an engage,
Sin
I'm
shout out.
imagining, or potentially the Xinjiao for quite a long uh, dash onto someone, and then the Oriana ult. But like, could you do something cheeky and just chuck it on the Kai'Sa and then just let the Kai'Sa go in? Like obviously you want your jungler or your support to sort of initiate that, but I reckon that could be funny. That could be some cool stuff.
That's what I'm saying to my team. All right, guys, I'm on Kai'Sa. Put the ball on me. But
Kai-
right now, Kai'Sa might be caught.
oh,
Flash
good
taunt?
flash on from the taunt on Leviathan here. Violent Chill will fall. Quite a few flashes and ignite as well, but take that as a win if you're TDM.
Yeah, you absolutely will. That was a really nice, great pathing. This is a thing where you need to look to scout out your teams, see if this is something that they do. We know that maybe they know Violent Chill walks by himself in bot lane quite frequently. They walk around underneath, get some wards out, and they find a lonely Kai'Sa on the Rift and take her down for first blood. Flash was burnt as well, and there were quite a few summoner spells on the other side, right? No Flash Corki, no Flash Trundle, no Flash, no Ignite on the Shen, but you got your first blood on the Trundle. Now, if, he's able to get a couple of full clears off, just one full clear, get a Scuttle Crab, base for a really nice early back as tempo barriers exchanged in the bot lane.
I think you want to be
Taunt out.
careful. Violent Chill. Corki does a lot to you, and even though he's ignited, it looks like you might die again. Not quite, at least not quite yet. You're bouncing him back into Violent Chill. Now, Danio, please be careful. There's not much life to work with.
Oh boy. That was close, Nuxel. Barriers both used for these trades at separate times. It was a bit goofy looking, but Violent Chill goes to single-digit HP. Ignite was used onto Harry, who also went quite low, but level 2 has been hit for the bot lane of TTM. Nice, that Q does miss. Phosphorus Bomb does a lot of damage.
Oh, you got to be so careful. You're playing on the edge if you're Violent Chill, but I'm sure he's been used to that. We saw that last game as well, and there was a few times that he actually ended up coming out on top, so he's certainly used to this. Good dodge from Bok Choy, but tower shot.
That's all. Yeah, he knows. He knows. He's emoting. Oh, miss -1, +1,
Oh,
-1. Unlucky.
unlucky.
Violent Chill, not the actually both of these bot laners not the best CSing so far, but a lot more action in the bot lane this game as to last game. The rest of the map is still as slow as last game, but fighting early in bot, that's an early tier for Harry on the Corki to help start the scaling and the mana. And we'll have to see what build this Kai'Sa goes towards. The on-hit has been very, very favored for a long time, but I did see a crit Kai'Sa more recently, and sometimes in Pro go towards the crit Kai'Sa as well. There's a bit of an overload on damage, but this game, there's only an Orianna for AP. I think that on-hit is the build you want to go. I assume going to be much the same as last game, just waiting for these grub dragon trades or team fighting if you want to. But evening out this bot lane, it hasn't... Oh, hold on. This is a really nice lane gank here from Full Clear, hiding in the bush, but maybe just taking a base.
Look, I'm certainly not complaining if there's more fighting, that's for sure.
He's staying.
Oh, dancing around.
They have no
being
vision.
Careful. Haryogi.
This is a nice bait if he's still here.
But... Oh, dancing up. You've got to be cautious, right? You've got to be skeptical. Violent Chill trying to get you out. Yeah, he's not there anymore. It looks
Ooh,
like.
I was stressed out.
Oh, dude. Yeah, I'm certainly not complaining if there's some extra fighting. I think that would have been hilarious if Valdanio just booped a Leviathan back into Violent Chill and then just one auto killed him. But unfortunately, we're not getting that kind of cinema, at least quite yet.
Nice little scout of the week there from Karma Warrior to get a bit of trade down. This mid lane is going to be very impactful for how the game goes, right? Both control mages, both very impactful at denying space,
Ooh,
doing the control mage thing. Nice little engage there from Voldanio. The Alistar healing in lane as well. Now that you're past that level, like 1 to level 2 mark where you're not really a champion. Once level 6 is hit for Alistair as well, feels really nice to. Never mind, there's just a
Oh,
solo killer mid.
okay. And like decent amount of health from bok choy
Is
as
that a
well.
level up timer? Hold on, let's see. Karma Warrior when he spawns, what level is he? Was
I
that
think
just a?
I think it
Was the
was.
ult like a shockwave hit? Looked like
It'd
it.
have to be, yeah,
It
yeah, it
was, yep.
absolutely was. Level up time is fundamentals, am I right?
Fundamentos, yep.
Yeah, bok choy as well with the schmooze. I've seen him dodge quite a few of those scatter of the weeks from the Syndra there. So you keep that up, maybe some more solo kills will come up.
And top lane pretty quiet. Just armor stacking for this Malphite. So no full AP ARAM Malphite. Pretty even game so far, Nuxel. What is 100 gold in it? That's pretty unimpactful, but a decent. It's basically like lead in mid and then equal lead or a bit greater in the jungle from that first blood. And obviously, Trundle's going to have a faster time clearing just in general. As you can see, CS difference in that jungle quite significant, 10 or so CS. But
Oh, here's
Hyper
Hyper
Dragon
Dragon
down the bot.
Leviathan taking a lot of health from Ryland Chill. The taunt goes well. Full clear is here, but there's 3 people still alive from TTM. Valdanio, the big cow, falls as well. So 2 kills over to TTM, and the Drake is up.
He walks in, has a look. It's like that, that meme where I think I don't know who it is. Opens the door with the pizza and everything's on fire in the room. That's exactly what that was. Yeah, this is fine one. That's exactly what full clear walks in, opens the door, everything's on fire. This is fine. I'm just going to go back to full clearing, take a base, go out to my top side. Unfortunately, Violent Chill takes a tumble there. Really nice pillar for the slow. All knock up.
Great unstoppable force will mean that bok choy takes his life away. And the flash W from full clear, trying to get down the health from Karma Warrior, trying to take on the tower. Alistair.
Hyper Dragon.
Hyper Dragon is coming in. We'll try to get the pillar out and the flash as well. We'll chomp down the cow. That's good eating. I do also love some beef as Hyper Dragon tries to take down full clear as well, but will tend to fall back and be still hungry just a little bit. Maybe the steak wasn't quite enough for him.
This is a much different look from TTM right now. Very aggressive in the jungle. Really nice pathing and gank from Awan Cake. Found a really nice roam timer. Lost some CS, but that's okay. Found a kill in the mid lane. And bok choy takes a fall.
Oh, you gotta
Violent
be careful.
Chill having a really hard time.
Oh. Like, yes, you've got some burst damage, but so does Corky. Oh! No, the deny of the cannon from the W of Harry Orgy.
-1.
Oh, the brain plays. The timing as well. That was crazy.
Problem?
Yeah, the thumbs up.
Production was happy with that one too. But grubs have spawned. This time it is Legacy Amber taking the trade. Actually, I think Legacy Amber were the ones. No, it was TTM who took the grubs trade last time. So this time it is a swap. There's going to be TTM with the first Drake, Legacy Amber with the first 3 grubs. And you're definitely happy to take 3 grubs away from Trundle. That is something you don't want to have to deal with. As lanes have reset back to neutral. No lane swaps, even for the grubs. So something that I'm a bit surprised with, because I feel like that is quite strong. And you want to get your Kai'Sa out of this lane. I would be much happier to have my Kai'Sa versus Malphite right now. Take a base, get a nice swap going, fight the grubs. Obviously, there was no fight, but stun out onto Leviathan, blocked away by Shen. As a pretty decent matchup, I guess. Gotta watch out. Flash nearly available for Valdanio. Flashed earlier. But I mean, it has X-Flash, so what can you say?
Yeah, keep an eye on these flash timers as well from both teams. It is certainly more in
There it is.
favor of Legacy Amber right now. Good pulverize. Leviathan not taking too
Blocked
much damage
again.
quite yet, blocking it out. Good W, but chilling back to lane. But yeah, Legacy Amber do have the flash advantage on the ADC and the mid. Syndra will get hers back up quite shortly, and it doesn't look like there's really going to be anything happening about that soon with the flash advantage. But I think that's something you really need to be mindful of, because TTM are certainly taking advantage of whenever their flashes are up. They got him out like really quickly in the early game with that first kill onto Violet Chill. And then as soon as they were back up, I feel like I see 3 people flashing, getting another 2 kills, and Legacy Amber weren't really able to do much from it. That
Doesn't
is
stand United
Aatrox
up to the top
down.
lane.
Yeah. Good job from Leviathan there. And you still have your flash buy, but I guess you couldn't really do anything.
Yeah, not a whole lot. He was most likely CC chained, knock up into the taunt from Leviathan. Very nice. As it won't affect the game too much, a nice kill onto a 1K. He's a tank though, so going Bramble, not going to need a whole lot of gold, but it's basically just evening up that CS differential, right? There's a 30 CS diff for buy. TP's back to continue pushing. Really nice ult from Leviathan. We'll even that up just a little bit in terms of gold. But 1 minute on this next Drake. It will be an Infernal Drake, so no Infernal Soul this time. Looks like full clear was spotted on a ward. And pathing up now into Trundle's jungle. Valdanio hovering on the side. Might be looking for a play on the Karma Warrior. Doesn't have his full flash available, so it would be a bit difficult. Here comes the invade from full clear. But just going to get pushed away by a couple of first strike procs there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Good
Violent
job.
Shield took a really bad trade, actually. Hold on. No Killer Instinct, so that was used. Flash Barrier, and he was nearly 1 HP.
Oh.
So it looks like Flash Out from Leviathan was used as well. So Flash Taunt, Violent Chill, nearly taking a tumble there.
And Harry Augie still has both of his, he has Flash and Barrier still.
Yeah.
So next fight, he's just got the advantage. I mean, he
We're
had it
coming down.
anyways, and here comes Valdanio, but Harry Augie's already playing passive. He's already under tower.
Okay.
Smart timers there. Realized that tracking them in the non-vision also would have saw them on the ward possibly. This dragon's coming up.
TP back from mid. Dragon has spawned. Hyper Dragon looking to sandwich with Karma Warrior here. Bok Choy taking a
Shockwave
trade.
out onto Karma Warrior. Good pulverize as well. Bok Choy's able to get that kill. The ult does come out, but Bok Choy's still alive. And a flash away from the taunt from Leviathan will mean that she still has her life. 3v3 over here in the mid. Violent Chill getting a little bit of gold for herself in the bot. This Drake is then getting looked at.
Yeah. Control ward on the Dragon means that there'll be no vision, but despite the 2-6 kill lead for TTM, the gold isn't really that impactful. Only 800 gold diff. Karma Warrior doesn't have TP, and a 1K just TP to top.
Oh, the barrier though. Oh, Full Clear does live to get that kill, but then he will fall later. So your jungler is down. You can't take this Drake anymore. You had the space and the tempo available to you, but now with Hyper Dragon alive, TTM can start to push this back a little bit.
Karma on the flank.
Valdanio taking a lot of damage here, and Hyper Dragon with his speed will move around. Pulverize does happen. Good shield out as well with the Leviathan ult looking for the cow. And he's caught in a bit of an awkward position here, but the ult out from Malphite does mean that the trade does come out. Legacy Amber starting to look really good here as a double kill comes out from Aatrox. Still no jungler though, but neither on TTM side do they have their smite too. By looking for more, they'll get the kill onto Violent Chill, but he's still very healthy. Harry Augie is here to do some damage. And this cow just wants to back. He wants none of this. Actually, he's coming back in, but the ult out from Karma Warrior, the power of that unleashment will mean that Aatrox falls. And back and forth here, but leading to nothing. The Drake still stands. Both junglers are alive now.
It's a banger line. The power of the unleash. That was dope. As that team fight, very scrappy, back and forth. Starts off with Full Clear flashing in, trading his life, or dashing in, sorry, with the extended audacious charge. Dashes in onto Harry to try to get a kill, but ends up 1-for-1ing himself. That makes the Dragon very, very difficult for Legacy to pull, as, like you mentioned, no smite. But then Hyper Dragon walks in a bit early, gets caught out by the headbutt pulverized combo of Valdanio, kite back a little bit, and then Bai takes over with the World Ender.
Oh, Bok Choy. You gotta be careful here. Hyper Dragon's gonna chomp you up. Good E will mean the shield keeps his life for now. Very, very low on that health bar. The Karma Warrior could not step up, so couldn't finish off that kill.
Still gonna be 2 Drakes though over to TTM. So basically, game state is almost exactly flipped as to what it was last game. 3 ups to blue side, 2 Dragons over to red side, as looks like Subjugate was used onto Full Clear, chasing him out.
It's evened out a little bit of the numbers. Hyper Dragon starting to look onto Valdani here, but great CC from Bai, has his ult back up. Hyper Dragon on half health. Karma can't really walk up to do much of anything. The Malphite will flash away, but Bai chases with his dash. More damage, more and more and more. Karma has the ult to work with, but there's no one low enough except for full clear. Gallic Gun targets the cow, but no one will be falling down from Legacy Amber as they start to look at this Rift Herald.
Rift will be taken. I see another overstep from Hyper Dragon. He lives, but that fight feels like it's all on his shoulders. He walks in, presses R onto full clear, doesn't really steal a whole lot of protections from a Xin Zhao. Chases him into his jungle, baits his team in a bit too far, and then again, it's Valdanio finding the headbutt pulverize and Bai. We're back here again. Bok Choy in the mid lane getting chased out by Hyper Dragon. TP down from Bai.
Oh, saving her life is her team. I think stepping up a little bit too far. You got to be careful. Leviathan does taunt out Bok Choy. Getting too cocky all over again. The shockwave does come out to save her life and delay Hyper Dragon's movement up. But the ignite and Voldanio here as well will mean that she'll just dance around and still keep alive. Hyper Dragon falls. Leviathan is next. And Legacy Amber with a clutch fight out. I don't know if Bok Choy was baiting or if that was a mistake and he just had the schmooze. We saw it earlier in the game denying Syndra's CC and damage, but that was ridiculous. That was like Benny Hill just walking around, play the music. Oh my god.
Global taunt. Everyone gets baited to go in my lane, and I live on calculated 1 HP every time. But in a realistic analysis point, Bok Choy is like getting bailed so hard by their team. That is ridiculous. The fact that 3 times in a row, like within 30 seconds of each other, you can do that. -1 on the cannon.
Yeah.
Write that down. But ridiculous gameplay from Legacy here. I have to feel as though Bok Choy making some big mistakes. Karma Warrior just gets solo killed over in the mid lane. Shout out Oz in the chat, who very correct. That is correct. Karma Warrior on Syndra does have 90 CS at nearly 20 minutes. There is a massive mid gap right now, not only in the almost divine movement that Bok Choy has, and I guess just calculated difference in these team fights, but also the CS. Yes, there's some kills. There's 1 extra kill, but look at that gold diff just from CS. We're nearly Flame Horizoning here. Not that far off, and it's Kill Instinct out.
Coming on to Harry Augie here, but Leviathan is here to try and taunt, but the flash comes out. One cake as well. Valdanio is starting to get looked at now. Violent Chill is no longer in the eyes of To the Moon. Atlas now resetting their position. Drake's up in a minute. They've got a good spot now. And such is the life of a mid player, I was going to say before, when the Syndra's just trying to get a bit of gold, and suddenly
a mid laner would say that, wouldn't they? A Syndra mid player would say that.
I would love to be that Oriana and just be bailed out by my team.
Yeah, but it's always a team diff, isn't it? Always my team not playing around me. Bok Choy's team plays around him pretty well. Why can't my team do that?
Yeah, literally.
Dragon spawning in 30 seconds. It looks like game is in a position for Legacy Amber to take this one pretty convincingly, although TTM walking into the river, Hyper Dragon standing in a bush looking to get some wards out. There's a flower in that pit. Someone go get it. Oh, eat that flower. No, all right, flower will go by itself. Now Atakan will spawn in the bot lane as well in about 40 seconds. So this dragon will be taken, and very similar to last game as well.
Shen.
Yeah, I was just another Stand United up to the top lane, takes down Bai.
Yeah, and we see the unleashed power as well from Syndra has been used. And we know that they're in top, so the call to get on the Drake right now from Legacy Amber is happening. They've got damage to burst it down. I don't think TTM can get there quick enough. Well, Danio maybe trading out his life with the positioning there so they can just get the Drake. Looks like that will happen. Oh, Shockwave though. Actually, a fight will start breaking out. Good ult out from the Malphite. Valdanio will fall. And full clear will
Cross
ult
the
as well.
guard.
Hyper Dragon having to flash away here. TTM, bit of an awkward position now as Violent Chill does ult in, get 1 kill. Harry Augie does have the damage here to take down. Actually, Violent Chill gets down to Hyper Dragon. She will fall. Full clear is next to get looked at. Leviathan does fall as well. And it is Legacy Amber taking down names. TTM trying to get trades with it, but Bai has the most health on the map right now. Take that last kill there. Bok Choy looking at Wancake and slowly ticking it down.
Whoa.
Flash actually from Malphite. I think he knows that he's hiding in that bush. And there we go. The ace out from Legacy Amber coming out on top finally. And a mid-tier 2 out from Bai in the eyes of that Aatrox.
My favorite part about Atakan fights is when one player leashes Atakan and just says, I'm blowing up this whole operation. Atakan is joining the fight on his own team. It is now a 5v5v1, and Atakan just destroys everybody with the prot treads. Harry, unfortunately, takes the brunt of that as he was dashing in as the Atakan was pulled and got shredded to pieces. Valdania gets caught a bit in the brush, but that's Drake over to Legacy Amber. Atakan hasn't been started yet. Harry caught once again. No flash on him.
But still in
around the
an awkward
corner.
position. That's a good pulverize. And Bai is there to follow up. Stunned out Harry Augie. And the W hits as well from Aatrox. Hyper Dragon keeps it going. But will be the next to fall. Leviathan's low under tower. And Malphite as well has to ult away. Legacy Amber with the tempo to make this work. Tier 2 tower and bot does fall next. And this Tier 3... is getting looked at with the Rift Herald. Lots of damage taken out. Malphite doesn't have an ultimate ability to work with, so full clear is just kind of walking up, knocking up, doing his damage. Violent Chill does use the killer instinct to get a little bit more, but she actually dies next from that Shen. And Legacy Amber keeps it going here onto the inhibitors. They potentially just want to close out this game here and now by absolutely carrying the last bit of these damage. He's half health now, so he can't be the last to stand. But Legacy
Dragon's
Amber
back
taking what they can. And this
on the chase.
Bok Choy pillared out. And we know the moves that he can work with.
Oh my God,
the
Bai!
Savior again! Goes over the wall of the Shockwave too! Gets 2! Zinzel with 1! Harry Augie, low health! And it looks like the call is to split back. This potentially could finish the game right here, but I think they're worried. I think they need to play cautiously. The Atakan is up on the map, and they're just taking their time.
That was a bit of Bok Choy's Shockwave will find them all right there from Legacy Amber, but really, really nice turn from Bai over the wall. Hyper Dragon puts down the pillar, tries to land onto Bok Choy, bailed out by Bai, and can't quite end the game yet, but 2 inhibs down, and this goal lead has exploded now, 10k out of nowhere. Legacy Amber, you give them an inch, they'll take it all. Well, hold on. Give them an inch, they'll take a mile. Oh my, whoops. Anyway. I can't take it now by Legacy Amber. Oh no, oh God. Okay, hold on.
I'm not letting you live that one down.
Yeah, it's going in the reel for sure, that one.
Yeah.
Legacy Amber, what I'm trying to say is they're in a position where on the back foot quite significantly for most of the game. Right, hold on. Hyper Dragon finds Bai, subjugate out, TP as well.
Taking down his prods. Hyper Dragon's running him down. Bai has been the savior, but now will look to be the first to fall. The target selection's good for TTM, but now the Shockwave and Pulverize goes massive. Hyper Dragon is traded, and their jungler is down. So there's stuff that'll come up on the map shortly before Hyper Dragon comes up, and they've got it in their eyes as Karma Warrior falls next. Violent Chill keeps going. Bok Choy is godlike. Harry Augie falls. One Cake is next. That's a double kill out. Tier 2 tower doesn't get taken, but this Drake is up in 10 seconds. It's not
the base is open, but
a soul.
Base is getting broken.
You're absolutely
it's over.
right.
Super minions.
Ace out from Legacy Amber. They're just stomping in. You're absolutely right. There's no towers to work with. This game, twice in a row out from Legacy Amber. Doesn't matter what side that they're on. Doesn't matter if they're put behind early. they'll clutch it out here in the end and win 2-0. Legacy Amber.
All right, I'll try to try to get my point out again without without saying the wrong thing. I think that TTM had a great early game and a great mid game, but Legacy Amber is a team that we've seen in this set that when presented with small mistakes, they will enter the game and punish you for these honestly small mistakes. It was Hyper Dragon overextending a few times, just a little bit too much. Valdanio finds really solid engages. You mean you can see why Alistair is such a important champion in the meta right now. It just allows you to make these snap engages. And the team fight skirmish is so great. Always having TPs available from Bai or from Bok Choy. Shockwaves are always landing. Every time that Legacy Amber were taking a team fight, it seemed to be a well-coordinated team fight, and they were always getting value. Even if they were losing, it was a close one. But very, very nice comeback from Legacy Amber. And from TTM, I think that they were two close games. So this is the first game that we've seen from them this split so far, as they had a bye in week 1. But, looking at the score, going 2-0, it's a stomp. Not what happened. I think that there are things to look at in game 1, bit of draft gap, really hard game for Zaya to play and was left alone for a large portion of the game, right? Rakan rotating, Leviathan rotating multiple times. And in this game, you're in a really good game state, right? The only thing you've lost is 3 grubs. You're up gold, you've got 2 Drakes, and you've got a really solid team fighting draft. And then unfortunately, you overchase at times where it's not necessary to do so. Maybe a bit of nerves coming in, and LA are there waiting for you to make a mistake. They pummel you over and take the win.
I gotta say, Bok Choy and Bai, especially in the mid to late, like we saw Bai sort of clutching out a lot of the fights towards the end of them coming in, maybe a little bit late, but I gotta say that it was an absolute spectacle to see some of those shockwaves, to see some of the smooths out from Bok Choy, and then Bai, the combos with some of those ults, with the knockups, like was clutching it out in the end, but then when they were in the team fight 5v5s, he was going off. And
Yeah.
although he fell the first of that one of those last team fights, we just constantly saw him again and again coming back and just going off. So as much as it was a great showing from every member, I would say full stop. Maybe Karma Warrior had a bit of a rough showing, getting picked off a couple times. CS wasn't amazing, but like if I was going to say who I was highlighting that game, Bai and Bok Choy were fantastic to watch.
Well, as the graphics are unfortunately incorrect, congratulations both these teams. Last check up, it was Legacy Amber against TTM, To The Moon Atlas, I believe is the org variant. And Legacy Amber took that 2-0 as they are undefeated so far in the split. Obviously, they lost one game earlier, the split in their first match, but they took that set. Really solid run so far from Legacy Amber. Keen to see how they continue on this league.
Absolutely. Thank you everyone for watching tonight or today for us if you're in anywhere else
It's 1
in the
p.m.
world. 1 p.m. I'm ready to have my breakfast. I haven't even eaten yet.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. But yeah, congratulations, Legacy Amber. That was an awesome showing. TTM I'm keen to see what they do next week. Catch you guys.